Fans going away disappointed tonight as we welcome you to Bucks Live, presented by Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Bucks playing their first game for a stretch now without Giannis. They fall in overtime to the Philadelphia 76ers, 123 to 114 the final. This was a big-time back-and-forth game. Kyle Kuzma helped lead the comeback for Milwaukee in the second half after Milwaukee trailed in that fourth quarter. Ryan Rollins ties a career high with 32 points, also had 14 assists. But nobody could stop this guy, Tyrese Maxey. A stellar game for him. 54 points in 47 minutes of play here tonight, and the Sixers win it. At the Gerber Law Offices, One Call, That's All Sports Desk, I'm Craig Kashan. Tom Crean joins me as well here to talk about a tough loss here at home for the Bucks, the first of three straight in this Pfizer Forum building, and it didn't go very well, especially down the stretch. Last few seconds of that regulation, Tom, the Bucks had a chance to potentially win it when the game was tied. It goes into overtime, and then they just kind of faded away.
Yeah, I didn't love that shot at the end, and obviously they fouled the first time for Milwaukee to take it out again. But in a situation like that, you're trying to turn the corner, or you maybe looking back at Turner in there, but to try to take a step back three challenge like that, that's a tough final look. And it wasn't that the play was wrong. He just took a very tough shot.
Yep, indeed. So it goes to OT, and then Philly behind Tyrese Maxey, who was really the offensive hero this entire game for Philly. Again, second of back-to-backs. They did not look tired at all in this game, and he sat only 6 minutes, played 47, and just made shot after shot after shot. 54-point game for him, his fourth 50-point game of his career on Menard's big money moment, Tom. He was virtually unstoppable.
He really was. And we're looking at these. The way he gets to the rim, he can go both ways. He can finish with either hand. The rim, the pull-up, the three. He looked as fresh, Craig, at the end of the game after those 47 minutes as he did at the beginning. If you were just tuning in, you'd think the game had just started when you look at his energy level. And obviously, there's always a little extra because he's still so close to Doc and to Spencer Rivers, who spent so much time with him when they were in Philadelphia with him. But how about the 9 assists as well? Like, he's moving the ball. And I thought what the Bucks did at the end and taking and denying him once he gave it up, that was a very good strategy. And then Quentin Grimes started to make some plays. But he's so good. He's a bona fide all-star. There's no doubt about that. And he was just too much for them tonight in the course of a 48 plus 5 minute game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He's the only player in the league averaging more than 40 minutes a game and does not look tired. That is for sure. Paul George has been a little bit tired because he's trying to battle back from injury here early in the season, Tom. Came back 2 games ago, sat in the game yesterday, so he didn't play fresh for tonight's game, and he had 21 points.
Well, he didn't. Wes said it at the beginning. He looks like the old Paul George when he had those first 11 points. But 21 points in 24 minutes, I think that's really solid. If you're Philly, you're getting out of here with a win, and you've seen Paul come back and play really well. He just did Paul George things. He made threes. He got to the rim. He used his footwork. He played with vision. They back off. There's no communication on that play right there. You know, that's like a layup for him. But you want to build on that. And I'm sure Paul George feels really good about coming in and seeing himself be successful too after all the time he's had off. Those are just too easy. And there were times not only on the miscues of the switch, but they were late getting their hands up like right there. They were late getting out on a closeout. There was a little bit too much moving on the catch. And Paul took advantage of it, as did Maxey. But with that being said, Greg, the zone was much better in the second half. And because in the first half, Philadelphia was getting anywhere they wanted off the top of the zone. And they did a good job tightening that up. They made sure that if they were guarding the ball could see somebody behind them. And so the zone was good. I think what's going to happen is we're going to hear Doc talk about the offense too, because as much as you look at Maxey's numbers and George's numbers, they missed a lot of close shots. They missed layups. You either got to use the glass or you got to dunk the ball when you're in there as much as they are, because they're not a rebounding team offensively. They only got 3 offensive rebounds tonight, and that's tough. And so that's why the finishing part of this, they're going to look back at this game and know they could have definitely won this thing by 10, 12 points if they finished more inside on those close range shots at the basket.
One final note, too, on Tyrese Maxey, 12 of 14 at the free throw line. The Bucks as a team, only 10 of 13. So he was kind of doing it all in combination with Paul George here in this game. On the Bucks side, obviously, Ryan Rollins is going to be the guy that we continue to talk about. Obviously, Giannis is going to be out for, it looks like, a couple of weeks. Rollins is the guy, though, 32 points for him, ties a career high, and also dished the ball 14 times in this one. But let's just take a look at his scoring first time.
Well, he got to the rim. It was easier than I thought it would be for him, but he's very poised. I mean, great reads, great drive right here. Scores with the left. He's got excellent footwork. He's ready to shoot. That is a really quick release. And I think that's something we're going to see more from the Bucks playing out of the post as they go through this without Giannis. But he can score with either hand. As you mentioned, he can pass the ball. He can score in the paint, at the rim, from the three, and with really great range. And then when you're coming off the ball screen like that and splitting it, getting around the defender, he was really good. When you look back at this game tomorrow in the film session, Ryan Rollins did what you needed him to do. Could he have played better? They all could have played better. But he came in and he played, like Doc said at the beginning of the game, he needs to be Ryan.
And he was Ryan also dishing the ball here in this one. And I don't know, the 14 assists almost seemed like quiet assists tonight for him as the Bucks offense just needed somebody to keep things fluid, didn't they?
Well, exactly. And as we see most of these clips, they're in the paint anytime they wanted to be. I mean, that's why when you miss close shots in the layups like that, and because you're not necessarily getting fouled there and you're not getting offensive rebounds. I mean, look at it. Miles Turner, Bobby Portis, Jericho Sims combined for 2 free throws. Now, again, this is not a team where the bigs are going to get fouled a lot outside of Giannis. But that's a tough game, especially when a guy like Tyrese Maxey goes 12 of 14 from the line. So lack of offensive rebounding, lack of getting fouled, you've got to make your layups. You've got to make your close-range shots more than they did tonight.
Always something to work on, no doubt about that for the Bucks. They fall in overtime here. We'll have more on this game, plus hear from Doc Rivers on the way as well. Tom and I will stick around here as Bucks Live postgame rolls on. Bobby Portis, nice night for him as well in a starting role. 123-114, the final. Philly over the Bucks in overtime. Back at the Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all sports desk. The Bucks dropped the first of 3 straight home games. Will play again on Saturday against Detroit. We'll preview that one coming up in just a couple of moments. Tom Corrine rejoins us here on Bucks Live postgame, talking a little Bobby Portis here in this one. As I mentioned, he and Kuzma got to start together here in this one, and took Bobby a little bit to get going here in this game, but he hit some big buckets. He ended up with 19.
I thought Bobby played well. It was a really good move putting him in the lineup. It got him going. He could play in the post, use that shoulder a little bit to score. I mean, he was effective, and I think that's going to be a great step for him as they get ready for this next game with Detroit, and obviously keep getting ready for these games without Giannis. But he's shooting the ball, played quicker. It's almost like his legs are underneath him. I thought earlier in the season he was missing some shots short, and he's really improved that. I mean, down ready to shoot. So a confident Bobby Portis that can play in the lane, can make the threes, but at the same time, we saw some excellent passes from him. I think that's really good because he's always been an energy guy that creates matchup issues. And tonight he got a little bit closer to that, scored all over the floor.
Yeah, he's such a finisher, too. Good to see him inside for Bobby Portis. All right, we're going to hear from Doc Rivers coming up next. Also get you set for the next game. Detroit coming in here, and they are on a roll. We'll talk about all that. But first, we'll hear from the head coach following a tough overtime loss to Philly. Miles Turner breaking out the antlers on the 3-ball, and it was a big one in that fourth quarter for Milwaukee. Bucks force OT, but fall in the final session, 123-114 to Philadelphia. Here's Bucks head coach Doc Rivers.
First of all, we had a foul to give, and we didn't execute it. To me, that's the difference in the game. If you want to go down to it, they executed the foul to give, we didn't. And we lose. On the first action, if they don't commit it, Kuz got a great. Kuz would have been open. The second action, we didn't execute again, and that's. I thought we played unbelievable. I thought we played hard overall, But our execution at times tonight, and I get it that we have different guys, but some of them are we just have to do it. The play was supposed to be an ISO for Ryan coming up, but instead we had someone there trying to set a pick, and it's tough to watch sometimes. So we'll work on it. We'll get better.
Like you said, you played hard and played well. Was it kind of tough to see just the shooting go cold in overtime after sort of finding a rhythm?
Yeah. I mean, that's just basketball, so I don't worry about that kind of stuff. If you get good shots. I thought it was so obvious tonight. When the ball stuck, we didn't score. When a play broke down and we moved it and kept moving it, we got whatever we wanted all night. And I couldn't, you implore them. We worked on that for 2 days because you anticipate things breaking down, and not having Giannis. And you got to flash, you got to pass. But when we get stuck trying to, that's just not who we are. We're not them who have a bunch of ISO players. We don't have that. And so you have to play with the ball and the movement. The good thing is we'll watch tape and we'll see the right way and then we'll see the wrong way. And I thought it was glaring to see. So I think that'll be good in the long run.
To be clear, end of regulation, 4.2 seconds left. That was supposed to be an ISO for Ryan. He's supposed to come off that first screen. Okay. Maxey with the career high 54. Just what did you see from him tonight that you guys?
We play a lot of zone. He got some openings. Listen, I could live with it. Like one guy scores 70 and you can win the game. You should win the game. You'll take it. And I thought no matter what he had, we should have won the game if we had it executed down the stretch of the game. So. But he made everything. He's tough. He's a tough guard. He's got great quickness. Beat us right more than you would like him to. But as I've always said, if it was easy taking him off his right, he wouldn't be Tyrese Maxey. He's a hell of a basketball player.
Just the night from Ryan. I know there's some mistakes in there, right? But also,
and that's part of it too for Ryan. He's just playing so hard and so many minutes, and then. There's times, out of a timeout in overtime, I think we had A.J. Green. That was the play. He didn't see it. And in his defense, he was probably exhausted. Trying to run the team and guard Maxey a lot is not easy.
I think you closed regulation with Miles, and then you closed overtime with Bobby. Yeah. Just those two decisions.
Well, Miles started overtime. And then we brought Bobby in. We just thought we needed another scorer, another shooter with movement, where Miles was more stationary. Bobby, don't know if it mattered at that point.
Okay, that's Doc Rivers following the overtime loss. Does not get any easier on Saturday when the red-hot Pistons come to town. We'll talk about it coming up. Tyrese Maxey, 54 points, played 47 minutes, only sat for 6 in this one, and didn't sit at all in the second half, other than just the usual timeouts. What a game he put together. So the Sixers beat the Bucks in OT. Cade Cunningham and the red-hot Detroit Pistons coming to down on Saturday. The Pistons have won 11 straight games, unstoppable right now. After a slow start on the season. And, Tom, this is going to be no picnic here because this young team is loaded and ready to play.
There's no doubt. And we're seeing Jalen Duren right there. He's an early candidate for most improved player of the year. And this team is number 1 in the NBA in points in the paint, number 3 in offensive rebound percentage. And Cade Cunningham is setting the tempo for this team offensively almost every game, and they play at his pace. And obviously he's playing well, but they're all playing off him at the same rate. What Milwaukee's going to have to do, they're going to get in the paint. It's a little bit harder, but this is a team that fouls. They're a very physical team, Detroit is. They like to defend. You can see it. They're very good team defensively, but they're fouling. They're 28th, I think, as of earlier today in the NBA in free throw attempts for the opposite team. So, I mean, they've got to find ways to get fouled. Somehow Miles, Kuzma, Jericho, those guys have got to get to the foul line. Bobby, because this is going to be another winnable game. And again, if there's ever a time to go in and play through the contact and finish, it will be in this game against Detroit Saturday.
Yep, and obviously in this game here tonight for the Bucks, could not get it done. Just 10 of 13 from the free throw line total throughout, including even overtime here. Tom, great job. Appreciate it. We'll see you again on Saturday here for Bucks Live pregame. We're back on the air at 6:30 to get you set for the Pistons and the Bucks. Let's see if the Bucks can stop Detroit's streak. See you on Saturday, everybody.